Hello everyone, I am Barkat Amir Jivani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Vagdevi College of Engineering, Warangal, and I'll be taking your Computer Networks Lab. Let's get started. The of today's we'll talk about guided meter and what are the different types of network cablings and the color combinations. In physical medium we have different types of cables. The first one is coaxial cable, second one is twisted pair cable. In twisted pair cable, we have two types as shown. One is unshielded twisted pair cable, which is known as UTP, and the second one is shielded twisted pair cable, which is known as STP. The third one is fiber optics. The first one comes the coaxial cable. The coaxial cable basically is a cable which has the center conductor and over which we have cover that provides protection, which is nothing but a silver foil, which is also known as foil shield, above which we have this golden braided shield, this one, and then we have the outer jacket, nothing but the outer covering. So this braided shield and foil shield are basically added to this cable in order to provide security and support to this center conductor, where the main thing that carries data is this center conductor. In order to provide safety and security, nothing but from damage, we have this particular over shields that we're having, foil shield and this braided shield. Okay, so here this sender conductor makes or takes the data in the form of electromagnetic waves. The data travels here from one point to another point in this cable in the form of electromagnetic waves. Okay, this having so many things on it, that's but this silver foil and this braided shield makes it very costlier, and basically we find these cables used in Tata Sky and your dish TVs. Next comes twisted pair cable. Now as we said, twisted pair cables are nothing but cables which are twisted, nothing but in these cables we have multiple individual cables which are twisted one on another. Okay, and these twists are basically done in order to improve the resistance of interface and to reduce the crosstalk, nothing but a disturbance, the voice disturbance. Now talking about types of twisted cable, as we said, one is shielded twisted pair cable and second one is unshielded twisted pair cable, STP and UTP. STP in the name itself, shielded, nothing but it has a shield of protection that is being provided to the cables. So you can see this image here, we have these wires which are twisted on each other. You can see there are totally 4 wires, nothing but total a pair of 4 wires, nothing but 8 individual wires which are twisted upon each other, and these twists are basically done in order to reduce the crosstalk and the disturbance. This is a shield that you are talking about, nothing but silver foil that is present over this wire, nothing but to provide safety and security again. And over there we have this outer jacket. Next comes the unshielded twister pair cable. It is similar to the shielded twister pair cable. The only thing is we do not have this shield, nothing but this silver foil. You can see here I am just having the twister pair cables and the outer jacket, but I do not have this silver foil. So with this what we say is nothing but here in this unshielded twister pair cable there are more chances of interference and crosstalk, nothing but noise disturbance would be there in this unshielded twister pair cable. And when talking about pricing, this shielded twister pair cable will be a little bit at higher price when compared to the unshielded twister pair cable, and these two are a little bit lesser when compared to the coaxial cable. As we can see here the similarities and differences between STP and UTP. Both STP and UTP are used to transfer data, where the transfer limit is from 10 Mbps to 10 Gbps. Again, STP cable contains more material, that's the reason it is expensive, as I already told you. Next, these cables are basically require some connector to be used in order to connect to a device. That connector is nothing but a RJ45 cable or RJ45 connector, as said here, where RJ stands for registered jack. The STP provides more noise and EMI resistant than the UTP. As we said, crosstalk and the other resistance will be there in STP, which is a little bit more than the UTP. Now, when we started using these cables, nothing but the twistor pair cables, initially we started with category 1, the first cable, which was having a support capacity of 1 Mbps, but only it was supporting 1 Mbps of speed, which we don't use anymore. Even our mobile phones which are using data rate are more higher than this. That's the reason this cat 1, cat 2, category 3, category 4, category 5, these 5 cables we do not use anymore. They used to use this earlierly, but we are not using them anymore. Now what we are using is category 5E, category 6. These two are the more frequently used cables in our network, whereas category 6A and category 7 are the newer versions which are in their market, which are coming in new, nothing but recently launched. So more we concentrate is on 5E and 6. So you can see 5E supports a maximum speed of 1000 Mbps. The bandwidth is of 1000 MHz, and the standard that they follow is 1000 BST Ethernet standard. Again, Cat 6 supports 10 GB speed. Bandwidth is 250 MHz. Cat 6A supports again 10 Gbps, same as like Cat 6, but the bandwidth here is 500 MHz and the base 10 base GT. Okay. As said, Cat 7 is still a new technology and not commonly used. Cat 5e, Cat 6, 6a are more commonly used twisted pair cables. Next, as I said, cable is alone not sufficient. We require some devices that are used to connect this cable. That's about RJ45 pin and punch down blocks, patch panels, wall plates, and jack couplers. These are basically used in wiring. The third cable that we are supposed to talk about is fiber optic cable. So in the name itself you can see fiber and optic. So this is nothing but a combination of fiber and optic. Is nothing but glass. Optic is nothing but glass. You can see here. So this is the way how it is made. The center part is known as core and it is made of glass. And here the data is forwarded in the form of light. So you can see here the core, which is made of glass. The outer part is made up of cladding. That's nothing but a plastic coating. And then we have a copper pipe and the steel stands and finally the polythene sheet. You can see these are so many materials that are being used in order to provide safety and security to this core, that is about the glass part. Since glass is very fragile, which can be easily broken, that's the reason we are having so many elements that are covering and providing safety to this product. As you know, light travels faster. That's the reason fiber optics, the data travels fast, but the problem is it is very costly because it's having so many elements and materials. That's the reason it is very costly when compared to all the three. Now, which cable to choose and how to choose? It's depending upon selection criteria is bandwidth, budget, capacity, environmental condition, placement, scope, and span. Bandwidth is about what bandwidth you are looking for, what is your budget, what is the capacity you are looking for, and so on. Now we'll be talking about how we are doing the attaching of wire and the pin. So for attaching the wire to the pin, we are using a tool called crimping tool. This device that you're finding is nothing but crimping tool, which is known as crimping RJ45, that is used to crimp the RJ45 pin to the cable. It is a 3-in-1 device which has a crimp, which has a cutter, and has a stripper. Next, so see, when you're taking the twisted pair cable, how do we strip it? First, we need to use the crimper tool and cut upper part of the wire very slightly, making sure that we are not damaging the cables. After cutting it, we have to keep it in this stripper part and rotate it for 360 degrees. We have to rotate it for complete 360 degrees. When you're rotating it, automatically this outer layer will be shelling off, and then you'll be finding the cable. First check whether there is any cut on these cables, because if there is any cut, then that will create sound disturbance and they will be having a network problem. So if you find any cuts on the wire, it is advisable that cut that wire, all the four wires till the same height. Then this is the RJ45 pin, how it looks from outside. It has 8 sectors or 8 grooves. We have to insert all the 8 wires here. There are two combinations of color. One is T568B and the other one is T568A. These are the two combinations that we used while you are inserting the wires in the grooves. The first T568B uses, in the first groove we need to put white and orange wire. Next one is orange, third one is white green, fourth one is blue, and so on. These are the 4 wires. These are the 8 wires that we have to arrange as per the given order. Next, before inserting, we have to make sure that we are keeping all the wires aligned in the same height, and when inserting we have to make sure that ½ inch of the wire is at least going inside this pin and touching in the bottom of the pin. That's nothing but a shield. Once you can see this, that the wires are properly arranged in the grooves and we can see these wires here, take the crimping tool and crimp the pin on that. First crimp it tightly, and another time make it another attempt and make another attempt to tighten it, so that making sure that there is no wire that is coming off and all the pins are properly inserted. Once you are done with this, initially before crimping, this is the way how the pin will be looking. Later on the pin will be like this. It should be like this in your color order scheme. After this, we need to check whether the pin was properly inserted or not. For that, we have this crimping testing cable or cable tester device, where we have to insert these wires from both the end. We have to do both the end the crimping similarly with similar concept, and we have to insert and check if these lines of color lights are blinking properly for all the 8. That indicates that the wires is properly crimped. If there is any problem here, the lights will not glow, it means that there is some problem in the cable, and then you have to again cut the wire throughout the RJ45 pin and connect it for the new pin. Now network connections. Basically we have two types of network connection. One is straight through cable and second one is crossover cable. In straight through cable, we are trying to connect dissimilar devices, nothing but the devices which are different. We are trying to connect with straight through cable. You can say switch and router, they are two different devices. Switch and PC different devices. Switch and server different devices. Hub and PC different devices. Hub and server different devices. This thing is nothing but straight through cable connects different devices. Crossover cable connects similar devices. Switch, hub. Now you will say, sir, what is switch and hub? Both are different. Yes, the names are different, but the working things are similar. The functionality of both switch and hub is similar. Next, hub and hub is similar. Router and router is similar. Router and PC. Sir, again you said similar things, but here router and PC are two different things. Yes, though they are different things, but as per the functionality, what router does is, routers decide what data to be sent. That's what they have the decision capability, and they have the decision taking capability. The same way the PC also has decision taking capability. That's the reason we are taking them as similar. And again, PC and PC. So here what we are doing in straight through. In straight through, what are we doing is the same color combination are to be followed at both the ends. At the top end as well as bottom end, we are following the same color combination. Whereas in crossover point, we are not using the same. Here what we are doing, at the first one side, we are having one combination, that is white, green, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown. whereas at the other end we have white green, green white blue, and so on and so forth. Different combinations are put. That's the thing about where we are talking about crossover pinpoint. So you can see this is clarity here, where we are having two types of wiring, 568A wiring and 568B wiring. You can see what is the difference. The difference is just with the color combination. We are starting with white and green in 568A, whereas in 568B we are starting with white and orange. Then second one is green, here the second one is orange. Third one is white and orange, here third one is white and green. Fourth one is blue, here fourth one is blue. Next, white and blue, white and blue. Sixth one is orange, sixth one is green. White and brown, white and brown. Brown, brown. So you can see that's a minute difference by which we are saying 568A and 568B. And this is nothing but the cross wiring, where we can see first wire is going here in third one, and second wire is going in sixth pin. That's nothing but one wire is going into the sixth groove, second wire is going into the second wire is going to sixth groove, first wire is going into the third groove, and so on. So, same here with the cross wiring here. The wires, as this is nothing but the top side, this is the bottom side. So in top side, if it is going in first groove is taking this one, the same wire in the top bottom pin will be going in the third groove. I hope I was pretty clear with the different types of cables, color combinations, and crimping. Thank you.